let me just tell y'all, be watching, be mindful, be on a lookout for things that just happen. And it is not by coincidence that things just happen. And I'm gonna say this because, you guys, things don't just happen just because it just happened. Calling the prayer line, and the prayer just drops and cut off, and you didn't even know, but you still pray. It don't just cut off by coincidence. It don't just upload your video after you are ministering to somebody by coincidence and it didn't upload. It's taking forever for it to upload. It don't just cut your testimony of you speaking to your pastor off. It doesn't just cut. This is not just by coincidence, and I wouldn't even say that this is probably by coincidence that this video probably don't even get uploaded to you guys. Listen, this year, I don't know, let's just say this season, but I'm claiming it for the rest of this year. This year has been such an eye-opener for me. I've been doing this Year of the Bride fast. I don't know if you guys heard it already, but it's Tiffany Montgomery, and she does this Year of the Bride fast. I did not know anything about this, and someone, I would say my pastor, she had given this, she shared a video to me, and once I heard the video, I was like, I need to start on it. I want to start on it. How can I get caught up? They already on day 10 or whatever, and I'm just like starting on day 1. But I was like, whatever it is, I need to start because I'm with it. So I started, and I would tell you this. I think it was like her 4th, 5th video where she went in there and she was like, regardless if you guys have been fasting or not, you feel different, right? Something about you is different, right? Something about me is different. The warrior is being released, but it's just so many things that are, you can't see spiritually. I would say we were blinded by so many things, right? Let me say it if I can. Let me clear that up. We can only see things that are going on in the natural world, where we come off and we say, oh, that's such a coincidence that I ran into such and such. Or, for example, we would say, it's such a coincidence that I ran into my ex the 3rd time. That's such a coincidence. We broke up like probably 2-3 years ago, actually like last year, and he been in my mind lately. Actually, I had a dream about him, and it's just by coincidence that I seen him in Target the other day, and I think that is just the universe showing me that we should get back together, right? No, it is not. That is literally the sign, miracle signs and wonders that they've been talking about. Those are the things that is trying to warn you to keep that door closed, to keep that chapter closed. And if we do not turn on our spiritual eyes, we would see it as it's just a coincidence. No, honey, that is not a coincidence. You close that chapter. You shut the door on that chapter for a reason. God closed that chapter for a reason. Why would you open it back up just to see because you feel like the universe, or you feel like, Christians nowadays, they just be saying anything. You feel like you could just say, okay, this is God. They said if it come back to you 3 times, it must be meant to be, right? That's what we say. No, honey, that is just a warning to say, you better run. You better start praying. You better get your prayer warriors out. You need to go ahead and start declaring and decreeing some things. You need to repent. You need to rebuke that vision, that dream that had came to you overnight, and you need to just let it go. Because listen, you do not want that door to open, because you do not know what other things was going to come through that door. And just because you decided to open a door over your ex, you don't know what other trauma that's going to bring up. So I advise you to go ahead and shut that door, lock it, throw it away, burn it, whatever you have to do to erase it up out your mind. Because the moment that you start praying over it, the moment that you say, no, this chapter is closed, I rebuke you, devil, you ain't coming back into my life, I guarantee you're not gonna see him in Target no more. I guarantee you those dreams are gonna be dried up, So ask God to put on your spiritual glasses, your spiritual goggles, because this natural world ain't nothing but listen, you want to be mindful of the things that is going on in this world today. You do not want things to just pass over your head. You do not want things to just be by coincidence. And that is what I'm saying. It's not just by coincidence that my prayer didn't go through on a prayer line this morning. It is not by coincidence that my testimony that I was trying to spread to the women and women of truth did not come out until 6 o'clock at night, because they needed it through the day. But you know what? God turned it around for good, because whoever heard, whoever had the ears to hear, right, heard, you know. It still got uploaded 6 o'clock at night, and people still, the ones who needed to hear it, heard it. And then the ones who came on there early this morning from 7 a.m., those 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 people that heard it. And then my homegirl backed up and said the same thing, basically, of what I was praying about in the room, Women of Truth chat anyways. And she made it very clear that we needed to surrender the things. So listen, it's going to get out regardless of whatever the enemy, whatever the devil is trying to, you know, withhold, because it's so big. I know that there is nothing but favor on my life. I know that something big is going to come out of this. I know it's nothing but just a new Kirby is going to come up out of this, because the devil really just been playing. He been plotting and scheming. He been trying to impersonate. He been trying to come in here and destroy some things to keep it from happening. But God say no. I put up my prayers and in my petitions, and God is the verdict on all of this. He is going to judge. He is going to bring and rule down over all of these things. So listen. Listen, y'all better put on your spiritual goggles. Y'all better put on your spiritual glasses. Y'all better ask God to say, give me the eyes to see and the ears to hear. Because listen, the devil is not playing. He is not playing with us. And God ain't playing either. But how could you know that God ain't playing if you don't know nothing about him? So I advise you guys to go ahead and start this Year to Bride fast, because that's just a little quick little testimony. And I'm on day 10. I got more to come. I got 15 more days to go. And no telling what I'm about to come out here and do. So, yeah.